What up, film fanatics? This is our new show, Make 'em Watch It, the movie watching challenge, where we choose one of our table members to watch a film that they have not seen before. Last week, I was forced to watch Tron Legacy, and I actually enjoyed it.
Forced? Come on now.
Come on. I mean, I actually enjoyed it for what it was, visually stunning. But anyways, go watch that last episode. And for those of you who haven't watched that episode, yeah, we choose one of our members to watch a film that they haven't seen before. And this week, I got to choose who watches what. And I chose Jake Berlin. And for the film fan that he is, he had never seen Goodfellas. So I chose Goodfellas, directed by Martin Scorsese. And it's one of his classics. It's a classic in Hollywood. So, Gio, you watched Goodfellas recently, and you enjoyed it, right?
Yeah.
Oh, we watched it together, actually.
It won Joe Pesci as Oscar.
Yeah.
I mean, as Tommy, like that guy is just insane.
I chose Goodfellas because it's a classic and it's a Scorsese film, and I feel like there's certain movies that you have to watch if you don't have to, but certain films that I suggest watching if you're a film fan, and that's one of them. But it's not even one of my favorite films of all time. I really like it. I watched it in my childhood, which is probably not a good thing. But let's turn it to Jake. Jake, what did you think of Goodfellas?
Okay, so I turned it on last night, and I wanted to watch it as late as possible before we did this stuff today. And I was open minded. Obviously, you guys know that I'm not the biggest fan of mob movies. They just don't really hit me like others. But it started off great. It started off with that one scene, obviously from the middle of the movie. Driving the car, the guy's banging in the trunk.
Oh, yeah.
By the way, spoilers, the movie's been open for like 25
Yeah, we're going to
years.
talk about spoilers.
It's been out for like 25 years.
We're not going to go into depth or anything, but
and then it goes back in time when, he's a young kid. He starts out in this business, and I was really intrigued with how it all went down. He's this young kid driving cars. He gets in this business, running errands. The script it's written really good. I love the dialogue between a ton of the characters, especially when he's 21, even though Ray Liotta, he doesn't look 21 years old.
But they try to make him,
I love, and it's more when there's this scene in the restaurant between Ray Liotta and Joe Pesci when he's like, "What do you think, I'm funny? What are you talking about? I'm funny?" And like that one scene, the dialogue back and forth was really great. That whole scene was awesome. Might be the best scene
in the whole movie, dude.
And then I also love when Joe Pesci asks him to go on a double date, and he meets his wife for the first time, and the next time he stands her up, and she comes looking for him.
Oh,
that conversation between the two, I thought it was so great. I don't know who the actress is, by the way. It's the first time I've ever seen her.
Well, it's funny because she becomes a big part of the movie.
Yeah, she does. She becomes a very big part of the movie, and it was awesome. And obviously Robert De Niro in there as the role of Jimmy, the kind of hardened badass of the group or whatever you want to say. I mean, it was great dialogue, great script. I thought the characters were really well written. They had some great moments in there. I can see why Joe Pesci won his Oscar.
Yeah,
the dude, he goes on
scary,
a psychotic turn.
Yeah.
That scene where he shoots the young kid.
Yeah,
that one big scene, man. That was crazy. And also with that scene, it kind of you think that Ray, at the very beginning, you think Ray Liotta's going to turn into this big badass gangster. He has a sense of heart to him. In that one scene, you kind of tell he feels for this kid. He just got shot, and even though he's this criminal, he's cheating on his wife all the time. He's doing all this kind of stuff. There still is a heart to him, and I love that they kind of brought it out in him. And halfway through the movie, I'm in it, and then it takes the cocaine turn. And it didn't work for me.
Really?
Yeah, okay. I started to get very I don't want to say bored, but near bored with the cocaine stuff.
Okay.
And
I can see that.
As it went on, I wanted it to end.
It doesn't help that it's 3 hours long.
It just kind of dragged for me, and especially with the cocaine stuff. And I got it. He needed something to do, but it just dragged on too long for me. And especially the end when all this stuff's going down, and there's a scene where the cops come to his house, and his wife's putting this cocaine in the toilet, and just kind of okay, let's get to the ending. Let's hurry up. And but I mean, again, there's some great stuff in there. The dialogue, The characters are fantastic. It's true Scorsese writing and directing. I can see why so many people love it. So yeah, I'd say the first hour to hour 20 minutes or so is really, really good, and then it just kind of takes a dive for me just because it just dragged a little bit. So
yeah, no, I kind of agree with you. I really liked it. I think it's a great movie, but it's not even in like my top 20 films of all time. Like it's not, but I really enjoy it. It's, one of the better Scorsese films, but I agree with you. It's a little long, and they could have cut out a lot of that stuff, like in the, like 3/4 through the movie. There's a lot of stuff in there they could have cut out and just got to the end. I totally agree with you, but overall, it's an amazing classic film in my eyes. I really enjoyed it. Gio, what do you think of his reaction to Goodfellas?
I like it. I think you like the movie better than maybe Jacob and I thought. Just because.
Yeah, I wasn't expecting you to like it that much because you don't like mob movies.
Mm-hmm. But I mean, you pointed out some of the things that I also like how the film chronologically goes, from the middle to the beginning. Ray Liotta gives one of his probably his best performance of his career in this movie.
Yeah.
Joe Pesci as Tommy, that scene you talked about, yeah. So you brought out a lot of things that I really liked and related to. So awesome.
No, exactly. That's the point. The things that I think are great in this film are all the things that you mentioned as positives. It does start out really strong. Like, it kind of hooks you from the beginning, and then Joe Pesci's character freaking is terrifying. Like, I don't know why my parents let me watch these movies as a kid, but it was like watching a horror movie to me because I was scared of his character as a kid. And I watched it recently, and it still holds up, but I always thought it was too long. I have a DVD where you have to flip the disc over to watch the second half of the movie. It's like the old Titanic VHSs.
One of it just came to mind, but the reason I think it dragged on so much is there's the one scene in the movie where Ray Liotta, he wakes up, he's going to deliver the guns to Jimmy.
Yeah.
And it's the helicopter scene.
Yeah.
And it just okay, when is this going to end? I get it. It was doing the entire day, but it's just do you really need to show that entire day?
I mean, now that you mention it, Scorsese does that. Like, even The Wolf of Wall Street. I love The Wolf of Wall Street, but that is long as hell. And there's a lot of stuff they could have just taken out to make it a more cohesive film. Mm-hmm. But let me ask you, after watching Goodfellas, I don't think this is it, but what is your favorite Scorsese film? Probably. Have you seen Gangs of New York?
That's up there. Gangs of New York is up there.
And you've seen The Departed, obviously.
The Departed is up there. The Wolf. He did The Wolf of Wall Street. Yeah, The Wolf of Wall Street. I think.
I mean, Shutter Island, probably not up there.
I think Wolf of Wall Street may be my favorite, but it's a tie. It's a close tie between that and Gangs of New York. I will watch Gangs of New York all the time.
Oh, it's great.
All the time. I love that movie.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, that's on the list then. That's for sure. That movie is fantastic. Daniel Day-Lewis, man.
Are you sure you haven't seen it? Are you sure?
I'm sure there's a bunch of Scorsese films I'm forgetting, but
I mean, there's there's like Raging Bull, and
I didn't like Raging Bull.
Oh, okay.
I've never seen Casino. But
Casino is basically I would consider it a relative to Goodfellas.
Okay.
They're very similar in a way. They're not connected or anything, but they're very similar.
But yeah, I would say Wolf of Wall Street and Gangs of New York are the top two.
Yeah, I would. I mean, The Departed is in my top 10 movies of all time.
That's probably 3 for me.
But I go back and forth between Gangs of New York and then what The Wolf of Wall Street has grown on me. But all right, well, any last thoughts on Goodfellas? Would you recommend it to people?
I would definitely recommend. Obviously, a specific audience of 16, 18 year old or adults, because there's some graphic stuff in there. But I mean, if I was really thinking about giving it a rating, I would probably do a 7.5. Okay,
yeah. I don't know if we want to do ratings on these Make 'em Watches. I didn't give Tron a rating last
Do you want to give
time,
a rating
but
now?
I'll give it a rating. I'll actually give it a 7.5 as well because I didn't love it, but I liked it.
Yeah.
So, I would give Tron Legacy a 7.5. Jake gave Goodfellas a 7.5. And all right, well, the way we're going to close out all of these episodes are the person who had to watch a movie last time gets to choose someone else to watch a movie, and they get to choose what movie they watch. So, Jake, have you decided on who you're choosing and what movie?
I have decided, and I'm going to do Gio, and I'm going to give him a movie called The Overnight.
You talked about this movie when we brought it up.
I want to see his reaction, and I'm looking forward to. Yeah, it's got Adam Scott. It's got the girl from Orange is the New Black.
Oh, so this
Taylor
is
Schilling.
recent. This is
it came
recent.
out last year, I think.
I was expecting like a film
No, it
from
came
like
out last
15
year.
years
It's a
ago
very
or
small film.
something.
It did not get a wide release. I watched it
Okay.
on popcorn time. So check it out. I'm very much looking forward to what you think.
This one's going to be interesting because I haven't seen the film either.
And
So
and you cannot look up what it is, synopsis wise, or anything. I know that's what you're probably doing right now. But
no, that's
I want you to
that's
just
the
go
rule
in
if-
free
yeah.
and look into it. So
maybe I'll watch it with you, Gio, just so I can be a part of the conversation when we
it's
do it.
it's
yeah.
a trippy movie, man.
All right,
It's
well, there you
weird.
have it. Gio is watching Overnight.
The Overnight. Yeah.
The Overnight, film we've never heard of, but apparently Jake is really curious to see his reaction to it. All right, well, that's going to wrap up Make 'em Watch It, the Apocalypse Movies Movie Watching Challenge. I want to thank Jake Berlin for giving us his mini review on Goodfellas, and let them know where they can find you online.
Twitter, Instagram, at Qui-Gon Jake. Check out the Padawan Podcast or our Star Wars show.
And I want to thank Gio for joining us today. Gio, I hope you have a great time watching The Overnight, and let them know where they can find you online.
You guys can find me on Twitter at GioRamos24 and at the Chinese buffet, maybe having some beers before I watch Hardcore Henry.
Oh, God.
All right, and you can find me, Jacob Barley, on Twitter at JacobBarley_, and on this Apocalypse Movies YouTube channel. Please comment, subscribe, hit that like button, and I can't wait till it's my turn again because I have some really interesting movies for you guys to watch. I just had to get Goodfellas out of the way for Jake, but thank you all for listening. Till next time, you all take care.